What are arrays? Array is an array is a collection of of what are arrays? An array is a collection of similar elements stored in adjacent memory location. So this is the basic conception of array, and you people have idea regarding this, right? So I'm not going into this in detail because you people know arrays. You have used arrays in Java. You have used arrays in other languages also. So it's a very simple concept. What are arrays? An array is a collection of similar elements stored in adjacent elements, and the index value, right, starts from 0 and ends at ends at n minus 1th position. This is the basic conception of an array in C language or in C++ or in Java, right?
Huh.
Okay, so to fix our idea, let us note down few facts about the array. So first point, an array is a collection of similar elements, and it is also known as subscripted variable. Before using an array, before using an array, its type and size and size must be declared. The third point will be the first element of the array is numbered 0. The first element in the array is numbered 0 is is at index 0. So as the last element is 1 less than the size of the array. The size of number fourth point. However big an array may be, the elements are always stored in contiguous memory location. This is very important point, right?
Yeah.
So they always stored in a contiguous memory locations. Big however big an array may be, its elements are always stored in contiguous memory locations. Stored in contiguous memory. And this point is very much important, right? Number fifth point, if we desire, we can initialize the array at the same place, right? If we desire, array can be initialized, can be where your num6 integer num6 equal to, so you have given some values like 2 comma 4 comma 6 comma 8 comma 10 10 comma 12, right? 6 values. Okay, you can declare it like this, or you can declare it like this also, integer n, and you have written here, you have not supplied the size, it will automatically gets the size 1 2 3 4 5, so it will get automatically the size. Okay, so you can declare integer variable or you can declare float variable, right? You can declare any kind of a variable like this. Okay. Next point is point number 6. So point number 6 will be if the array is initialized, mentioning the dimension of the arrays of number 7. If the array elements are not given any specific value, are not given any specific values, they are supposed to contain garbage. In C language, there is no check to see if the subscript used for an array exceeds the size of the array. So data entered with the subscript exceeding the size of the array will simply be placed in the memory outside the array. So probably on the top of the other data or on the program itself, right? So this will leads to unpredictable results. Okay, so data with a subscript, the array size, the array will simply be placed in memory outside the array, probably on the top on the top of the other data, top of the other data, or on the program itself, or on the program. This will lead itself. This will lead
Hmm.
to say at least there will be no error message to warn you that you are going beyond the array size, right? So to say and and there will be no error message. There will be no error message. Error. There will be no error message to warn you that you are going beyond array size. You are going beyond array size. In some cases, you will find that your computer hangs, and in some cases, you will find that the operating system is providing some messages, right? Stop the program or something like that. You will get it, all right? So, so you do remember. So remember that ensuring that we not do not reach beyond the array size entirely the programmer's botheration and not the compiler, and compiler will not take responsibility, not the compilers, regarding this. Here, what is happening in C, there is no check to see if the subscript used for an array exceeds the size of the array. Data entered with the subscript exceeding the array size will simply be placed in the memory outside the array, probably on the top of the other data or on the program itself. And this will lead to unpredictable results. To say at least there will be no error message to warn you that you are going beyond the array size. So do remember that ensuring that we do not reach beyond the array size is entirely the programmer's botheration and not the compilers, right? The next topic will be array elements, passing array elements. So array elements can be passed to a function by calling the first way is by value, that is by passing the values of the array elements to the function, by passing values to the array of the array of array element of array. This is the one way, and next is by reference. Well, let me show you one program here. So in this program, what I'm doing, I'm passing address to this function. So let me write it here. There's another display disp. Here I've written integer of n, and I'm writing here printf /n and percentage d, then I'm writing here comma, and here instead of disp I'm calling a function called disp1. So instead of this I'm calling disp1, and I'm passing the array element marks of I. Then it will display the array elements according to the element which I'm passing to disp1, right? So let me compile this code and we can execute this code, right? And it will generate the output. So you can see that it is generating the output here. but it is producing some warning. It is okay for standard C++17, but not for C. But anyhow, it works because I have not provided any return type to the function, right? This is
Yeah.
another concept in C. When you will not provide any return type to the function, what will be the return type? When,
Agree.
when we are not,
Swap.
so what will be the return type of the function? See,
Integer.
I've not written any return type of the,
Oh, the void.
no, the default return type of the function in C language is int, right? So if
Oh,
I write
how
here
weird.
return 0, if I write here return 0, okay, in both the places it will not produce any error. So by default, the return type of an array, return type of return type of a function is int in C language, right? So let me compile it, and you can see that it is only producing warning, right? Because implicit, see the warning return type defaults to int. What is the warning? Return type defaults to int.
Int.
Return type defaults to int, but when you execute this code, it will work properly because
Yeah.
because the default return type is int. Understood?
Huh.
So compiler gives this warning, but it will not produce any error. Okay, so it's not required, so I'm removing it. So now you can see that it is working over here. So
Yeah.
the default return type in C language, the default language in C language is the default return type. The default
Return.
return in C language is int, right? To
Hmm.
any function. This is the default return type, right? Default
Return.
return type. It is not void. Okay,
Huh.
fine. So the next concept will be, so you can pass the here you can pass here I have passed the elements, right? Now what I'm going to do, now I'm going to pass the address. So, so if you have to pass the address of the elements, you have to use ampersand symbol, right? And it will work. Okay. So it
Okay.
will call the display function, and it will work. Okay. So I'm executing it. You can see that it is also this thing in our nodes. Let's write it down. Passing. Now you can see that I'm passing the address over here. This is the address of operator. This is the address of operator. Address of operator. Address of operator. And this is the pointer. You can see that this is the pointer, and it receives the address, and here it is printing, right? This one is pointer variable. This one is pointer variable, right? And this is the dereference. Okay, this is the dereference operator. Fine. So dereference operator refers to the data. So it is printing the data present on that address. Fine.
Yeah.
So next concept will be pointer and array. So pointer and arrays. Uh, we have to know a few points regarding this. The point is, okay, these points are called a word of caution. Do not attempt or do not attempt the following operation. They would never, they would never work out. So number one is addition of 2 pointers, because the content of the pointer is address, which I have done it in last session, right? So that is
Yeah.
why we cannot add the two address, right? Multiplying a pointer with a number, and next thing is dividing a pointer with a number. Things you cannot perform with the pointer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's concentrate on another facts, like we will try to relate the following two facts. The we have already learned. Array elements are stored in contiguous memory location, and number two, one is array elements are always stored in contiguous memory location, pointer, a pointer when when increment, pointer when incremented always points to, right? This second point is very much important for the pointer. A pointer when increments always points to points to immediate, always points to immediate, always points to immediate next location, next location of this type, of its type, of its type. So these 2 points are very much important. Array elements are always stored in a contiguous memory location. A pointer when incremented always points to the immediate next location of its type. Fine.
Yeah.
So let's take one example here also, and we try to we will try to read the address of an array, right, to prove this point. Okay. So we go back to our same example, and here what we are going to do, here we are going to display the array, array elements address, right? What we are going to do, we are going to display the array elements address. So here percentage of the percentage of u, comma, ampersand of marks of. So now you can see the address, or let me write it in this way. Put a slash n over here, so you can see the address of the array. So when I build and I execute here, uh, it will give you the address. See the starting address here, 6422016. Next array is exactly after 4 bytes, right? 20. The next address is exactly after 4 bytes, 24. The next address is exactly after 4 bytes, 28. Then 32, then 36, and then 40, right? So this is an array, and the data is stored in a contiguous memory location. Right? The data is stored in a contiguous memory location. So next thing what we are going to do, okay, we have understood that it is a contiguous memory allocation, right? It is proved that this program proves that array represents contiguous memory location, right? So what we will do here, we the name of the array, there is another concept. The name of the array, the name of the array array is the constant, is the constant pointer, is the constant pointer of its type, of its, what I've said, the name of the array is the constant pointer of its type. Okay. But we'll continue with our fun. I'll come to this point a bit later also. First, what we can do, okay, first, in our next example, what we are going to do, or in our next experiment, I'm going to assign the first element's address to the pointer. And I try to prove the second point, and then I will going to prove this point. All right. The name of the array is a constant pointer.
Okay.
The second point first, and then I will go jump to this point. And the second point is that, okay, if we declare a pointer here, say integer star p, because if we increment the value of the pointer, it will jump to the next immediate
Location.
location, right? This is what we have studied. Fine.
Yeah.
So what we write here, ampersand of marks. So the first location I copied it, right, into this pointer, right? This pointer will contain the first location. And now what I'm going to do, now I'm going to write here star p, here star p, and then what I will do, I will update the value of p. So I'm writing here comma and I'm writing here P plus plus. P plus plus means it will go to the next memory location. When I will increment the pointer, it will go to the
Next memory
next
location.
memory location, right? So let's see whether it is printing the values or not. Okay. So if it prints the value, then it proves that the second point is perfectly correct. Okay.
Ah,
So it compiled and then I'm executing it and it's printing the array. Okay. Then
ah,
it is
print.
printing the array. Right. So it proves the second point. It proves the second point. So when you increment the value of the pointer, it goes to the immediate
Second.
address.
Hmm.
So there is a huge relationship between an array and an pointer. And a pointer. There is a big relationship between an array and a pointer. Okay,
Ah,
we can copy this. This is the second point. Second. Okay, this is the second point. Here we are incrementing the pointer. Understood? So this is how it works, and there is a very good relationship with the pointer. Okay,
okay.
fine. And what I'm saying that next point is okay, the name of the array, the name of the array, the name of the array is a constant pointer of its type, right? So let me have a proof of this. We go to our program and we write here. So we have created a pointer. So let me do it in this way. So name of the array is a pointer. So what I will do instead of writing this, I will write here star in the bracket. I will write here plus I and we compile the code. So now you can see there is no error and we execute the code, right? Now you can
Ah,
see that it's producing the output, right?
ah.
Then how it is working?
Because
Because the name of the array is a constant pointer and we are adding the values of I to it, right? We are adding the
value
value of to it and the dereference operator is printing the value at that address, printing the value at
that
that
it.
address. So here a marks is a constant pointer. Marks is a constant pointer, right? And this is a dereference operator. Dereference operator, which means value at address. Value at address. Right? So if say for example the address of 55 is say 200, right? I'm assuming that it is 200. The address is at 200. So 200 plus 0, 0. So there is a calculation over there. Say marks plus I, right? So there is an internal calculation going around here, right? That internal this statement in C, this statement in C means marks represents base address. Marks represents base address. I'm writing BA. Let me write it as base address, right? So it means, okay, say for example, base address is 200 plus it means plus I multiply by size of data type, size of
Data.
data type. So data type is int here, right? Size of data type, which is int over here. So 200 plus, so this thing will come out as 200 plus 0 into size of int, which is 4, right? So the answer is 200, right? That means print the value at 200th location, which is 55, right? So it has printed. Now the value of I is incremented to 1, right? So now you can see the calculation here, 200 plus 1 into 4, which is equal to 204, right? Print the data at the address location 204. So it will print 65 here. So this location is 204. The next location is 208. In this way it is stored. This array values are stored like this. And whenever I'm writing this statement, it means this calculation is happening inside, right? This is written in C language. This is written in C language, and this mathematics is happening internally. This formula is executing internally.
Okay.
This formula is executing internally. So instead of int, we can say that okay, it is a data type. Data type. If it is double, then it will be then the value will be 8 over here. Then the value will be 8. I is already multiplied with 8, and then it will be updated. Understood?
Yeah.
So this is the relationship between array and the pointer. Okay. So let me talk about the array which has more than one dimension, right? The two-dimensional array. The two-dimensional array. The two-dimensional array is also called. Let me show you this because we are studying practically. This is an array which is representing a matrix. This is the which is representing a matrix. Fine. And you can see that there are two columns and 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. There are two columns and four rows, right?
Huh.
So what we can do here, we can print this array. Right? First we print this here. Number of rows is 4, and of column is number of rows is 4, and number of columns is 2. So we have to create another loop here. Say j is equal to 0, and we write here j is less than 2, and we write here j plus plus. And then here we write it down. Instead of this, we write it down marks. First we have to write row, and then we have to write down. So now you can see that okay, it is declared the double dimension array, and what I'm doing, I'm just printing the double dimension array, right? So let me write here percentage of d, and let me put here space. So instead of space, what I'm doing, I'm giving the 4d, right? So 4d means that I'm doing some formatting out there, and then I'm printing. So I'm giving four spaces for each of the number, and then I'm printing that. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm writing here printf slash
Mm.
f. Change the line, and it will be printed in a matrix format. So now you can see that it is printed in a matrix format. 55, 65, 75, 56, 78, 78, 90, 72, right? So it is printed in a matrix form. So there is a relationship between pointers and two dimension, right? So the C language embodies an unusual but powerful capability. It can treat the parts of an array as array, right? More specifically, each row of a two-dimensional array can be thought as a one-dimensional array. And this is important fact if we wish to access the array elements of the two-dimensional array using pointers, right? So let me execute this once and save this.
Okay.
Okay, and then I will write this pointer. But powerful capability. This is very important. Important fact. The declaration is like this. Okay, the above declaration is this. Okay, int marks. For example, I'm taking it as I declared this, right? So let me make a diagram such that you can understand. So diagram is like this. Say the address of and the data type of marks is say assume int. This is 100, then this will be 104. this is 108, this is 112, this is 116, this is 120, this is 124 and 128. And you can see that here 100 is stored, 108 is stored, 116 is stored, and 124 is stored, right? So now you can think that this whole stuff is a contiguous memory allocation. See, 100, 104, 108, 112. See, if this is a single dimension array, how it will be stored? It will be stored it like this. So it will be stored it like this, 100, right? 104, 108, 112, 116, 120, 124, 128, right? So you can see that this belongs to the first row, this belongs to the second row, right? This
Yeah.
belongs to the third row, and this belongs to the fourth row. And what this array is doing, this is array of arrays. What this single dimension is array is doing, it is holding down the address of cells like 100, right? 108, right? 116, and it is holding down 124. 124. Okay, so let me show this thing practically, how these things are practically happening. Let me show you the addresses, then you can easily understand how the things are happening practically.
Okay. And it's an increment of 4 because each integer stores 4 bits, right?
Yeah, I assume that it is integer, and in C language integer size is 4 bytes,
Okay.
right? So let me show you the address of this, right? So I'm writing here ampersand of. So I'm using the single dimension array. So I'm writing here marks of I are I equal to 0, I less than 4. So it will print the address which it contains, right? So let me see what it is printing.
तो हमेशा हर प्रोग्रामर को यही चीज काटता है.
हाँ, तो अभी तुम एड्रेस देख,
हाँ.
एड्रेस देखने के बाद तुमको आइडिया बन जाएगा कि हम जो बात बोल रहा था, थ्योरेटिकली हम बोल रहा था, ये प्रैक्टिकली दिखाया है.
हाँ.
छोटा कर लेते हैं, ये बहुत दिक्कत है. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो कि ध्यान से अगर तुम देखिएगा तो एड्रेस जो है ना, तो एड्रेसेस देख यहाँ पे 0 है, ठीक है, यहाँ पे 8 है, यहाँ पे 16 है, यहाँ पे 24 है, राइट? क्या है फर्स्ट एड्रेस, क्या है 0, सेकंड एड्रेस है 8, थर्ड एड्रेस है 16, उसके बाद है 4. यानी अगर तुम इसको तुम सेल में अगर डिवाइड करता है,
हाँ.
तो इसको जो एरे पॉइंट करा रहा है वो कुछ इस तरीके से पॉइंट कर रहा है, जो हम डायग्राम बनाए हैं. अगर हम लास्ट 2 डिजिट लेके चलता है तो फर्स्ट वाला 0 0 है, जो ये फर्स्ट सेल का एड्रेस है 0 0, इसका है 0 4, इसका हो गया क्या 0 8, इसका क्या हो गया 0 8, ठीक है ना, ये हो गया 1 2, ठीक है. तो इसका देख यहाँ पे 0 8 है, क्या है 0 8, ठीक है. उसके बाद देख 0 0 नहीं है 1 6 है, क्या है 1 6 है, यहाँ पे बना देते हैं 1 6, ठीक है ना. तो 78 का एड्रेस क्या है 1 6, ये है 2 0 और ये है 2 4. तो देख यहाँ पे 2 4 तक आया है, यानी ये वाला जो एरे जो एड्रेस रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है उसको प्रिंट कर दिया, ठीक है.
हाँ.
तो दिस इज कॉल्ड एरे ऑफ एरेज. हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, एरे ऑफ एरेज, ठीक है ना. और ये जो प्रॉपर्टी है ना, दिस इज वेरी मच यूजफुल इन सी लैंग्वेज और इन पॉइंटर्स, ठीक है. समझ में आया चीज. और ये पूरा सिंगल डायमेंशन एरे, ध्यान से देख, अगर तुम इसको बस डबल डायमेंशन में लॉजिकली अरेंज कर दिया गया, वी हैव अरेंज्ड इट इन डबल डायमेंशन. ये सिंगल डायमेंशन एरे है एक्चुअली में, क्या है ये सिंगल डायमेंशन एरे है, बट इसको लॉजिकली अरेंज कर दिया है गया है डबल डायमेंशन एरे में, ठीक है ना. क्लियर हुआ चीज.
हाँ.
तो अभी अगर हम यहाँ पे स्टार लगाते हैं, ठीक है ना,
हाँ.
देन व्हाट इट विल डू, इट विल प्रिंट द फर्स्ट कॉलम. किसको प्रिंट कर देगा,
फर्स्ट कॉलम।
मेरे को फर्स्ट कॉलम को प्रिंट कर दिया 55 75 78 एंड 90 ना।
हाँ
समझ में
समझ में
एसोसिएशन पॉइंटर एंड द एरे, इट इज
it is
प्रिंटिंग द
printing the
फर्स्ट कॉलम।
column
और
और
अगर मेरे को
मेरे को
उसका
उसका
नेक्स्ट वाला
वाला
कॉलम को अगर
column को अगर
प्रिंट
print
करना
कर
हो तो
तो
क्या
क्या
करें?
करें?
सो क्या आपका आवाज थोड़ा कट गई।
हम बोला था कि अगर मेरे को उसका नेक्स्ट वाला कॉलम को प्रिंट करना है तो क्या करेगा?
+1।
+1 करेगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली निकल आएगा। मेरे को उसका नेक्स्ट वाला कॉलम को प्रिंट करना है तो मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा i प्लस, ठीक है, तो वो उसका नेक्स्ट वाला कॉलम को प्रिंट i+1 मतलब वो ये वाला कर दिया देख 75 78 90 और उसके नीचे में, तो उसके नीचे में तो कुछ है नहीं इसलिए वो गार्बेज दे दिया था, वो फर्स्ट कॉलम को ही एक्सेस कर पा रहा है। तो ये वाला जो एड्रेस है ना, अगर हमको सेकंड कॉलम को एक्सेस करना है, ठीक है ना, इफ वी नीड टू एक्सेस द सेकंड कॉलम तो हमको यहाँ पे 1 लगाना पड़ेगा, ठीक है, वो ऑटोमेटिकली एक्सेस हो जाएगा। सो अभी वो राइट आउटपुट दे रहे हैं, राइट। So you can see that कि 65, 56, 78 and 72. So I am able to access the next column in this way. लेकिन अगर मेरे को पॉइंटर से एक्सेस करना है then what I have to do, ठीक है ना। हाँ, अगर मेरे को पॉइंटर से एक्सेस करना है तो मैं क्या करूँगा, तब मेरा कैलकुलेशन थोड़ा सा अलग हो जाएगा। वो मेरे को करना पड़ेगा, पे बिठाएंगे स्टार बिकॉज वी नो दैट एरे इज अ पॉइंटर। यहाँ पे स्टार बिठाया, मार्क्स, तो वो पूरा जो कॉलम है, तो यहाँ पर हमको एक छोटा सा कैलकुलेशन लेना पड़ेगा। मेरे को डायरेक्ट एक्सेस करना है ना, तो मार्क्स प्लस वो पूरा कॉलम खत्म होके सेकंड कॉलम पे जाना है, मतलब वो पूरा रो खत्म हो जाएगा, मतलब मेरे को वो पूरा खत्म करके उसके नेक्स्ट वाले पे जाना है। तो हम लिखेगा यहाँ पे 4 हो गया उसका साइज, राइट। 4 मल्टीप्लाई बाई 1, 4 हो गया उसका साइज। तो उसका साइज मतलब उसका साइज जो है वो है 4, तो 4 मल्टीप्लाई बाई आई, तो आई का वैल्यू 0 है, 4 इंटू 0 वो फर्स्ट सेल को एक्सेस कर देगा। लेकिन मेरे को एक्सेस करना है वो पूरा रो के बाद वाले से, राइट। तो मैं लिखूंगा मार्क्स प्लस 4 प्लस आई, मार्क्स प्लस 4 प्लस आई, ठीक है ना।
हाँ
समझ में, मार्क्स प्लस 4 करते ही वो मतलब 4 एलिमेंट को छोड़ देगा, फर्स्ट कॉलम का 4 एलिमेंट को छोड़ देगा और फिर वो एक्सेस करना शुरू करेगा। नहीं वैसे नहीं होता है, वैसे नहीं होता है। मेरे को सेकंड कॉलम का चाहिए, सेकंड कॉलम का है नहीं वैसे नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब ये मज़ा नहीं आ रहा है लॉजिक में। देख यहाँ पे लॉजिक क्या है कि अगर ये वाला जो सेल है ये 100 है, तो यहाँ पे 100 स्टोर था तो मैंने बहुत इजीली इसको प्रिंट कर दिया। लेकिन यहाँ पे 104 है, ठीक है ना। फिर यहाँ पे 108 है बिकॉज दिस इज 108, लेकिन यहाँ पे है 112, 112, ठीक है ना। तो ये कुछ इस तरीके से दोनों के बीच का डिफरेंस है 8, दोनों के बीच का डिफरेंस हो गया 8। अच्छा फिर आगे का कैलकुलेशन करते हैं तो और भी क्लियर हो जाएगा। तो ये है 116, ये है 116 और ये है 120। तो यहाँ से यहाँ तक का डिफरेंस है 8, राइट। यहाँ से यहाँ तक का डिफरेंस है 8, यानी ये इसको एक सेल को स्किप करके फिर मेरे पास आएगा। समझ गया कॉन्सेप्ट?
हाँ
मतलब वो एक सेल को स्किप करके फिर यहाँ पे आए ना। तो मेरे को क्या करना पड़ेगा कि इसको हटाते हैं, अब बुद्धि लगाना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे फॉर्मूला बना के। तो आई का जो वैल्यू है फर्स्ट टाइम वो तो क्या करते हैं कि 4 तो ऐड करते हैं और आई को 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं, वो नहीं रखते। मार्क्स प्लस मार्क्स प्लस आई इंटू 2 प्लस 1। देखता हूँ क्या होता है। 8 आ गया, 24 आ गया, 40 आ गया, 56 आ गया।
हाँ
8 के बाद ज्यादा जंप हो गया। 8 के बाद चाहिए था अपने को 8 के बाद चाहिए था अपने को 8 तो ठीक है। अपने को 8 के बाद चाहिए था 16। 8 के बाद चाहिए था 16, तो जंप हो गया ज्यादा। 4 4 नहीं आया था, 8 आया था ना वहां पे फर्स्ट में। 8 आ गया, फिर 24 आ गया। 8 और 24 के बीच का डिफरेंस हो गया
16।
16 हो गया। और मेरे को 8 भी नहीं चाहिए था, मेरे को चाहिए था सेकेंड कॉलम को एक्सेस करना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो रहा है मेरे को। स्किपिंग लॉजिक जो है वो फॉर्मूला करना पड़ेगा। तो वहां पे जो सेल है आई का वैल्यू 0 है, तो 0 इंटू 2 प्लस मार्क्स, और मैंने +1 कर दिया। मार्क्स वो वाले सेल को एक्सेस कर रहे हैं, +1 करने से वो नेक्स्ट वाले सेल को एक्सेस करते हैं।
सर वो मार्क्स प्लस लाइक पूरा ये चला जाएगा, क्या बोले, +4 प्लस आई नहीं होगा?
मार्क्स ऑफ आई +1 कर, मार्क्स ऑफ आई +1 यानी मार्क्स ऑफ आई में जो एड्रेस है उसके साथ +1 करेंगे तो वो नेक्स्ट वाले सेल का एड्रेस पकड़ लेगा, ठीक है ना, ऑटोमेटिकली। देखते
ओके।
हैं क्या होता है। हाँ अभी दे दिया आउटपुट 65, 56, 78 एंड 72। देखते हैं हम लोग का सेल में क्या था, तो पता चल जाएगा। तो देख 65, 56, 78 एंड 72। अभी वो उसका नेक्स्ट वाला कॉलम का एड्रेस मतलब वैल्यू दे दिया मेरे को निकाल के,
हाँ
ठीक है। हाँ, तो वो इस तरीके से काम कर लेते हैं। मतलब मार्क्स ऑफ आई में एड्रेस आएगा और वो एड्रेस के साथ अगर हम +1 करता है तो वो उसके नेक्स्ट वाले सेल में चला जाएगा, ठीक है
ओके।
ना,
हाँ
काम कर जाएगा फिर। और सिर्फ अगर हम लोग मार्क्स ऑफ आई का स्टार करते हैं तो वो फर्स्ट वाला मैट्रिक्स को प्रिंट कर देगा। तो अब मैट्रिक्स को प्रिंट करने का अच्छा तरीका मिल गया अपने को। हम लोग क्या करेंगे कि यहाँ पे %u लगा रहे हैं ना, इसको हम लोग %4u लगा देते हैं। u के
हाँ
बदले d लगाते हैं बिकॉज नेगेटिव वैल्यू भी आ सकता है। और
ओके।
फिर एक और %4d लगा देते हैं, ठीक है। अब हम लोग
हाँ
लगाते हैं, ये तो उसका हो गया था, सेकंड वाले का लगा लेते हैं कोमा डाल के मार्क्स ऑफ। तो वो उसका फर्स्ट वाला कॉलम का माने फर्स्ट सेल सेकंड सेल दोनों प्रिंट कर रहा है यहाँ पे, ठीक है, यूजिंग पॉइंटर। तो अभी इसको रन करते हैं तो उसको मैट्रिक्स प्रिंट करना चाहिए। ओ सॉरी, कंपाइल करना पड़ेगा फर्स्ट, तो वो लास्ट वाला लेके रखता है। बिल्ड कर लिया एंड देन वी आर एग्जीक्यूटिंग। देखो आउटपुट आ गया, ठीक है।
ओके। हाँ
तो काफी अच्छा रहा ये वाला चीज। तो अपने को समझ में आया कि इस तरीके से हम लोग उसको एक्सेस कर सकते हैं। क्लियर हुआ चीज,
हाँ
ये वाला को उसमें हम लोग रख लेते हैं, ठीक है। सो एक्सेसिंग द एक्सेसिंग व्यू, थोड़ा बहुत कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हुआ एरे और
हाँ
पॉइंटर के
सर
बीच का
क्लियर हुआ।
रिलेशनशिप,
हाँ क्लियर हुआ थोड़ा।
क्लियर हुआ।
हाँ आई थिंक खाली
चलो
प्रैक्टिस से और समझ में आ जाएगा उनको।
व्यू आज इतना ही दूर क्लास रखें, एक्चुअली मेरे को थोड़ा ऑफिस का काम भी करना है,
हाँ सर ओके।
ठीक है।
हाँ
चलो
सर।
फिर बाय फिर। और कॉलेज से कोई डाउट वाउट आए तो कॉल कर लेना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है,
ओके
ठीक
सर
है।
हाँ।